A soldier, an airman, and a Marine walk into a room. This show is the punchline. My name is Ryan Smeltz, and you're watching Veteran Talk Show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, really quick, I just want to tell you about one of our fantastic sponsors, and that is Soldier Girl Coffee Company. So if you are watching the video, you can definitely check out the screen share here. I'm on our website, and you can go to affiliates, or this will be changing to sponsors soon, and click on Soldier Girl Coffee. As it says on the website, Soldier Girl Coffee is a veteran-owned company. They definitely provide the absolute best coffee I've ever had. It definitely has the pick-me-up that I need in the morning. If we check out her website, of course, down in the right-hand corner, you can definitely chat with her. You can get exclusive discounts she offers to our listeners just by putting your email address in the box on the website. As you can see right here, she has French vanilla cream, 100% Colombian, snickerdoodle, Hawaiian hazelnut, and she offers regular as well as CBD infused coffee. So be sure to go and check out her website. Of course, you can get there by going to our website at businessandbrewshow.com/soldier-girl-coffee, or you can just click the link in the show notes and it'll take you right here. You click on view products and it takes you over to shop around. She even has a little bit of merch. I know when I ordered my bag of Colombian roast, I really enjoy Colombian roast, and she has the best Colombian roast that I have ever had. And of course is a veteran-owned business, but I got a sticker as well as a thank you note, so I really enjoyed that. So now I have my very own Soldier Girl coffee mug that I can drink my Soldier Girl coffee out of. So once again, right now, exclusive discounts just for our listeners. Everybody drinks coffee, whether you're a veteran or a business owner. You're going to need it. You're going to need it for your staff. You're going to need it for your break room. You're going to need it for your house. So go ahead right now, click the link in the description, in the show notes, right here, right now, and go get some Soldier Girl coffee today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am super excited and absolutely have to tell you about a phenomenal way to build your website and keep it up to date. My name is Ryan Smeltz, host of the Business and Brew Show and co-host of Veteran Talk Show. And if you are watching this, I want you to pay close attention to my screen share. This is the website of the Business and Brew Show. And the way I am talking about keeping your website, building it, getting it up to date, and having it managed is by Online Rob. So Rob is absolutely phenomenal. And what I absolutely love about this is he was able to customize the website exactly how I asked him. So as you can see, the homepage has a ton of different pictures from different episodes. Of course, here on the episodes page, you're able to listen on your favorite platform, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio Public, iHeartRadio, or Castbox. You can connect with us, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Listen to the 5 most recent episodes right here on the website. And, of course, you can find our sponsors, such as Soldier Girl Coffee and, of course, Online Rob. So the best thing about this is, as you can see on my screen, if you're watching, Online Rob is a veteran-owned small business. He will design, build, and manage the entire website for you. That comes with free unlimited updates, a domain name, your business email, and a logo if you need it. All included for our listeners is only $2.99 per year. As it says right on the screen, there are absolutely no contracts and no hidden fees. I handed this to him. He had it back within a very short amount of time. And anytime I need an update or have a question, he is there to help out. So I strongly encourage you, once again, for our listeners, you can go to businessandbrewshow.com/online-rob, or you can click on the link in the show notes. If you are not watching the video version, the link is definitely in the show notes. Be sure to check out our website. I'm super happy with his work. I'm really excited that I no longer have to figure out where to get an SSL, how to install it. I don't have to install the pixel for my Facebook ads. I don't have to manage any of the analytical tools such as Google Analytics, and I don't have to figure out how to connect the domain or set up a business email. He handles all of that for me for the low price of $2.99 per year. So once again, for our listeners, Online Rob offering this exclusive deal. Be sure to go check it out. Make sure when you fill out the form, you put that you heard about him from us in the How Did You Hear About Us box. Business and Brews show or Veterans Talk show. Of course, you can always use my name, Ryan Smelts. And no longer, as a business owner, will you have to build and manage your own website. Have Online Rob do it for you. Take advantage of this exclusive deal, only $2.99 per year. Best of all, he can handle everything from, of course, a podcast to an e-commerce site. No matter what kind of business you run, Online Rob can handle it for you. So go right now, click on the link, fill out the form, take advantage of this exclusive offer, and be sure to put the show name in his How Did You Hear About Us box. Now, let's get back to the show.
But I heard him. He was singing along to the music at the bar.
Do you remember what he was singing?
I think it was that song, I
closer
Want
to
It
the
That
mic.
Way.
Backstreet Boys, I'm familiar. Okay.
Backstreet Boys, I'm familiar.
Number one,
Backstreet
could you
Boys, I'm
please sing the
familiar.
opening to I Want It That Way?
Really?
Really?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You are my fire.
I love this so much. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's hilarious.
Number two, keep going.
The one desire.
Number three,
Believe when I say.
number four,
I want it that way.
tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a mistake.
Now number five, I never wanna hear you say.
I want it that way.
Oh, chills, literal
I love
chills.
that.
It was number 5. Number 5 killed my brother.
Oh my God, I forgot about that part.
Oh my God, I forgot about that part. Dude, I love, oh my God, I forgot. Number five, the guy who killed my brother. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I think that's one of my favorite parts of that whole clip right there is they don't tell you that her brother was murdered.
You have no idea why she's there.
And then it's like, yes, it was number 5. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine was such, I mean, it's still on?
I want to say as of last year they were making new seasons.
Man, it was
but
such a funny show.
I don't know.
I fell off of it a while ago. But it was
Have you ever seen
hilarious. Like I liked Parks and Rec. I thought Parks and Rec was hilarious too.
have you ever seen Hot Rod?
Hot Rod?
Hot Rod.
The movie? No, I've not seen it. With that Andy Samberg?
Yep.
I will tell you, I did watch his Hulu one, which was Palm Springs, which was like a new millennium version of Groundhog Day, which actually was pretty funny.
It was called Palm Springs.
I think that's what
I
it was.
looked that up. A newer version of Groundhog Day. I already like Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day is hilarious.
You're going
First
to
of all,
modernize it and then put Andy Samberg in
First of all, let's be real. Anything with Bill Murray is pretty much awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, can you like what shitty movie was he in other than Garfield?
I don't think it exists.
Yeah. I mean, Garfield was like his one bad movie.
Zombieland.
Zombieland, awesome.
What about
But
Bob?
what about Bob was hilarious.
Zombieland was one of the best ones because number one, he died.
Well, he was only in it for a few
They
minutes.
killed him. And number two, he's in it as himself.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Oh, I dress like this. It lets me live my lifestyle. I went and played golf. I just went and played 9 holes today. Well, who did you say? I saw David Lee Roth. Oh, how's he doing? Though? He's a zombie.
He's a
Oh, he's a zombie.
Emma Stone shoots him.
No, it's not Emma Stone. It's the guy. The guy shoots him.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. No, it's Jesse Eisenberg.
But they
He's like, does it hurt? And he's like pulling. He's like pulling his hands. I was like, that's still a little.
he's
tender.
dying, and Emma Stone just starts laughing. And
She's like, he just doesn't.
He gets me.
Yeah, he like just dies. It's like, and like Emma Stone just starts laughing. Yeah, like he just doesn't. Yeah, yeah. I loved Zombieland. I thought that was hilarious. The second one wasn't that great, but the first one was hysterical.
No, first one takes the cake.
First one was the best.
The second one was still good. I would buy it. I would pay to see it, but I just like it that much.
Mm. The second one was okay. I mean, I watched it. It wasn't, but nothing could live up to the.
No.
I mean, there were some.
Harrelson.
Yeah. Well, he's in both.
Stupid little bitches.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me with my own gun. Thank God for rednecks. God, no, he's a God bless redneck. Dude, I listened to a podcast about his dad.
Woody Harrelson.
So apparently Woody Harrelson's dad was like a hitman. And it's called Son of a Hitman. And he wasn't like interviewed for it, but it was a good damn podcast. Like his dad was like his dad was he was a man you did not want to mess with, apparently, back in the 60s.
That's crazy.
I mean, but like, yeah.
And now Woody Harrelson is just like whatever role they need, he'll fill it.
Dude, he's done some good fucking roles,
He was
though.
in 2012. He was in.
He was.
Now You See Me.
He wasn't. Now he's. Well, yeah. Yep.
That's what I think is crazy about it. Because if in 2012, wasn't he like the crazy person? And then in Now You See Me, he was a magician. And then in Zombieland, he's like
he's like the badass.
Yeah.
He's the badass in that movie.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, he's been in a lot of great things. I mean, White Man Can't Jump. I mean, come on, man. That movie was fucking awesome.
Lord.
Yeah, I'm going back.
You're dating yourself.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, I'll just say.
What, you can't appreciate it? What? Just because I say I like I think The Maltese Falcon was one of the greatest movies ever made, doesn't mean I was born in 1941.
No, but I don't know what you just said. So there's that.
You got to check that movie out. Do you like noir films? Like, like when you see detective movies or whatever, detective shows, and they're like, the guy's narrating, like Dame walks into my office and blah, he's narrating what's happening as it's happening. You know what I'm talking about? You've seen that kind of motif in movies?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've.
Let's just say yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That started because of The Maltese Falcon, which is a Humphrey Bogart movie. It's a fucking awesome movie.
One of my favorite old movies is Airplane.
First of all, yes, different. You and I have different version of what an old movie is. Because for me, yes, it's an old movie, but it's not like Airplane's hilarious. And Airplane is a movie that you probably could not get away with nowadays with the woke culture. Like the old lady speaking jive.
Oh my God.
Excuse me, stewardess. I speak jive. Like you could not do that nowadays. That would absolutely not. How that movie has not been canceled yet, I have no idea. The other great line in that movie.
Everybody knows about it.
Oh my goodness. So many people know about that movie.
I know about that movie.
I know jive turkey. I love that. That is so funny though. But then they have so many great, that's just the whole motif of that movie. It's like when the pilots are on the runway, they're like, Roger, what's your vector, Victor? It's so fucking great. Surely you can't be serious. I am, and don't call me Shirley.
That was in a commercial, and I think that's how I learned about that movie, because I was like, haha, that's a funny joke. And my dad's like, yeah, that's from
Airplane.
And
that's from Airplane.
What is this movie? I must see it.
Airplane's fucking great.
I watched it, and then I watched Airplane 2. Just as good.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Well, what's really funny is the guy, the Leslie Nielsen, is like was a very serious dramatic actor up until like those movies started to come out.
I didn't know that.
Like, and not like
funny,
not like a B movie or like, but was a very serious dramatic actor. Like, didn't do a lot of comedies, big into doing like Shakespeare and stuff like that, and was very renowned for doing that kind of stuff and being a serious actor. And then all of a sudden,
he does that.
Well, no, it wasn't that he wanted to do that.
And the little boy.
He did like Spy Hard and Hot Shots. Remember Hot Shots? You don't remember Hot Shots? Man, we guys have. Oh, that's a great movie. If you like Airplane, you'll love Hot Shots. So Hot Shots is making fun of Top Gun. It's a parody of Top Gun, pretty much.
Nice.
And it's got Charlie Sheen in it. You think it's Charlie Sheen? Yeah. And then you have Hot Shots Part D. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
I'll have to check it out.
Dude, Hot Shots is a great movie.
I just like.
I'm a nerd when it comes to movies, though. I love movies.
Little boy in the cockpit, and he's like, "Who you are?" I'm just. Oh, you're Kareem Abdul.
You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nope.
No.
Don't even know who that is.
You must have me confused with someone else.
I've never heard that name before. Dude, airplanes. But yeah, so if you like airplane, check out Hot Shots. You'll love Hot Shots. You'll laugh. your
Well,
ass off.
I have a weird taste in movies, so
If you like
hype it up.
airplane,
if I get the omelet MRE disappointment,
you won't, because no one goes in expecting great things for that. Nobody. If you are, you're a fucking idiot.
I had that conversation recently with someone because they were making fun of me for eating all of one thing first before moving on to the next thing.
That's because they've never eaten them, Maurice. You don't open up three things and have
exactly what I said.
So there were a few times with MREs you just like poured everything. You made the sleeve bowl, where you like fold the packaging down into a bowl and just poured everything in there and then mixed it up.
Never done that.
Oh, dude, Chili Mac.
Never done that.
Chili Mac. Do it with the Chili Mac. Heat up
going back,
heat up the Chili Mac.
Do it with the chili. Like I'm gonna go home and be like, yes, babe. Do we have any chili?
Babe, where are the MREs?
Where do we keep the MREs?
Oh, they're in the bomb. They're in the bunker. I got it. I'm going down there.
Check. There's two types of people who keep MREs around the house. The guy that just got back from like the FTX, it's like, shit, I forgot I had this.
Yeah.
And then hoarders or preppers.
Yeah, preppers.
That's it. There's people at a flea market all the time. Like I would sell some military surplus.
Dude, if I walked into
Do
it,
you have any MREs? And I'm like, you're out here, you're in public, in case you were unaware,
and you're asking for this.
Searching
You're asking for this.
for MREs. Like, what the
Where did your life go wrong? Let's examine that. You need professional
But
help.
then again, like I don't know if you've spent a lot or a little time at the flea market, but I see that guy and he's got boots
Dude, if I'm
on,
walking to a
and I'm
flea
like,
market,
"Oh, hey man, what branch were you in?" Because he's got combat boots, and sometimes too, it'll be the guy wearing boots, and they'll be like the black leather ones that we used to have to shine, as opposed to the tan
suede ones. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, what branch were you in? Oh no, but right over there, man, they sell these boots. These are nice boots, and I'm like, all right, now it's weird.
Yeah,
It's weird because it's like if you had those on, it's like, all right, maybe you got out, and at this point in time, you don't have any other shoes. Maybe you're with Irreverent Warriors, and you decided after your hike you wanted to go to the flea market. Who knows? But now that you're literally just wearing the boots, like I'm going to tell you what's comfortable.
First of all, Irreverent Warriors, August 28th, downtown Raleigh. They're doing a hike. We're doing it.
Well, they said it was a walk or
it's a hike. Yeah. It's,
okay.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
It's like $5. And they said that how they describe it kind of sounds like a pub crawl.
It might be because they've gone to Beer Garden a handful of times.
Yeah. So I'd like to go.
I'm down.
I want to go to that.
I'm down. I'll let them know we're coming.
Well, I'm going to sign up on the website. Do the donation.
Oh,
so I'd like to start a chapter here in the Triangle. It'd be really good.
There is.
I didn't think there was. I thought the closest one was in Wilmington.
No, Russell Oxley has. Well, there's on Facebook. There's groups, and there's an IW Raleigh. There's an IW Wilmington.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought
an IW Houston.
I understood it. It was only
they
in
add each other to the other groups, and they go in there and they talk shit.
Oh, nice.
About like how IW Raleigh is better because this.
Well, it's a military thing. I get it.
Yeah, it's great. But Russell Oxley heads it, but I don't know if he heads like the North Carolina chapter or if it's Triangle specific because he lives in Jacksonville.
Well, so we need. Yeah, we should have asked. What's James? Who was here? Who was the guy who came in? Who was? This
is embarrassing.
Why?
This is number 4, and you're asking me somebody's name.
I know it is. I can't remember his name. He was on a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm going to cut this part out.
Okay, that's fine.
Where we're discussing the name of one of our guests.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah,
we've had quite a few guests. Yeah. Other than the repeaters, and I don't know Great White Buffalo's name. All I know him as is Great White Buffalo.
Well, that's I think that's a good thing because if you did and we kept referencing him, I still haven't gotten to that episode to edit it yet.
It's that or Mike Jones.
Hey man, you were serious about like cutting all this out, changing your voice and stuff? Because if he is,
that episode just doesn't need to go up.
I mean, I want to put it up, but at the same
that was
time,
a good episode.
That is a lot of work.
That was a good. We discussed he's still active duty, so I get it. Mike Jones is still on active duty, so a lot of stuff we talked about could get him in trouble because we talked a lot about drugs on that episode. A lot.
The most drugs we have ever talked about was on that episode.
Well, they were asking about drugs. And I was like, look, I've done a lot of drugs in my life.
Look,
I know how to do this.
About drugs, I'm a little bit of a professional.
I've done some things in my life.
1 or 2 or 5 or all.
I've pretty much done everything other than crack.
A little bit of every single one.
Crack.
We went to a buffet and it was like, hey, just take some free samples.
So my wife, so my one of my best friends from college lives literally down the road from where I work. And so like once a month we get together and have beers, and she'll occasionally come over here and hang out with me and my wife. And when my wife and I first started like living together and hanging out, they didn't really know each other that well. And through like just being friends because I mean, we've been friends for almost 20 years now. And so we hang out occasionally, and my wife, I would tell my wife, well, he used to do a lot of drugs. And she's like, oh, you just used to smoke a lot of weed. Okay.
But then do a lot of drugs. Oh, okay. Weed.
Like, she's like, oh, that's a lot of weed. I know people who smoked a lot of weed. It's good. Then
a lot of weed doesn't.
Then my friend and I get together and we start talking about like crazy shit we used to do back in the day when we were like 18 years old. And my wife's like, holy fuck, you've done these types of drugs. I'm like, yeah, like all the time.
And you go like this and you're just like I told you.
I used to have a pill container, like the old people pill container filled with like Percocet and Valiums and just like Xanaxes. And I would just be like, what am I going to take? Like, it wasn't like I'm taking one like for this day of the week.
There's no,
I would just be like, what do I want to take today?
V for days of the week. So how do you know which one is Valium? There's no P, so how do you know which one is Percocet?
Tape.
he said tape.
Yeah, you put tape on, you just write on there, and I would just keep it filled. And I knew eventually I just got associated with it. I was like, all my Percocets went into Sunday. Like all my Xanaxes went into when those things started getting low, I was like, oh shit, I need to get some more.
I guess. I just
like we told the story. We told the story. My friend and I told the story to my wife where a buddy of ours. So it was me and now her ex and her ex's roommate. We were all very, very. It was a very tight group of friends, and we were hanging out at her ex's house. And his roommate came home, and he had a hefty garbage bag, like a lawn bag, like one of those big black ones, filled. He came in with it like Santa Claus over his shoulder, put it down on the coffee table. It spills out, and it's psilocybus mushrooms.
It's what?
Filled with mushrooms. And our immediate reaction was we all just took a handful and just started eating them.
Oh, Lord.
Like it got to a point, there was like a year, and we like calculated this out. There was a year where we were.
So my immediate reaction,
good God,
would have been to raise my hand.
No.
Like, excuse me, sir, but I have a couple of questions.
Nope. There was no question. It was
you just put a garbage
bag of like mushrooms
full of shrooms on the fucking table. Okay, so are you ready? Question number 1. Where the fuck
did you get it?
Did you get it?
He traded well, we knew where he got it from. He traded 2 pounds of weed for it.
That is so much weed. that is so much mushroom.
That was not a lot of weed. Back 18, 19. So 18, 19-year-old me was like, woo.
All right. If you go out today, say you got a weed dealer, maybe you don't buy that much. You haven't been with it. Maybe he doesn't know you that well. You ask for a pound?
Oh, if you ask for a pound, that's like, like you're going to get a bullet in the face.
No, you like that.
Yeah. Like you're going to, no, the guys I know, they'd probably just like be like, we're out in the middle of nowhere and you're asking me for a pound of weed just off the bat. We've never met. I'm going to go ahead and just shoot you and leave you out here. I mean, but we didn't have a weed guy. We were our own weed guy. Wink, wink. I had a 7-bedroom house that I lived in with 2 other people.
I met one of those before, actually recently. So it's different now.
It's different now. Back then, it was 5 years per plant in North Carolina.
Yeah, but
so we were looking at like 75 years.
It's different now.
Y'all can do the math on that.
I talked to the guy that owns a CBD store who they grow their own hemp.
Yeah.
And so
weeds viewed a lot differently now than it was 20 years ago.
Well, yeah, but even better is if they come through and they test your plants and one pops hot, like it's a marijuana plant, they just tell you to destroy it or you get fined.
Yeah. Now, back in the day, it wasn't like that. If you got caught with one weed plant in North Carolina, it was 5 years in prison.
Well, I'm sure there's still a punishment if it's just weed, but if you are a hemp farm.
Well, weed now is decriminalized here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, weed's decriminal. I don't smoke weed anymore. I don't do drugs anymore.
But what does that mean?
So basically, if a police officer pulls you over and you have weed in the car and it's less than the federal amount, which is an ounce, pretty much they're just confiscating it and letting you go on your way. They're not bringing you to jail. They're not even writing a ticket at this point. Like if you've got 1/8 of weed, like they're just taking it and just being like, go home. That's what they're doing now.
The only reason I ask is because with the plants, like this dude made it sound like growing the plant would get you in trouble.
It will.
But not if you are a hemp farm. Because if you are a hemp farm and they come through and they test it, no, they want you to destroy it apparently. But the other thing he heavily implied was if they test that plant and they tell you to destroy that plant, that doesn't mean they're going to test any others.
Yeah.
So it's like, start a hemp farm.
Dude, I lived in Colorado for 6 years and I knew guys who had like mountaintops filled with legal weed grow shows. Well, I know a guy who right now, a good friend of mine who still lives in Colorado, regularly works at a commercial grade pot marijuana producing facility. He loves it. And I mean, it's all legal. It's not illegal in the state of Colorado for them. They're supplying it to a store.
Yeah.
They're not black market at all. They have the licensing, they've got everything, and but pot is, but like back 20 years ago, it was a different story, especially in North Carolina. It was a different story.
This is true.
But yeah, I used to do like that episode. We talked about a lot of drugs, and we used to just do drugs like it was a normal, like on a daily normal basis.
Yeah, but I think there's a big difference too between a drug user and
like a drug addict. Yeah.
You could say that. I would say addict. So the one I'm thinking of is when I was at Fort Hood after I got out of the Army. I still for some reason keep some of the shit that I get. If I don't use it all, I don't know why I keep it around. Some of it's fucking pointless.
Like pain meds?
Like it might be ibuprofen or one of them one time I got was like
I won't take.
I think anti-anxiety was one of them, but
Xanax.
But I had
love Xanax. I used to love Xanax. Was one of my favorites to take.
But I had 3 bottles Xanax getting out, and I worked at a restaurant, and then it was me, my buddy, and then the guy who actually had his name on the lease, and we split a house. When I got out of the Army, we all split rent or whatever. It was cheap as shit. Fucking love Texas. And the one dude, he had his brother in town at one point, and it was bad, dude. It was bad. So like one time I was headed to work and he was like, will you give me a ride to the store? And I was like, yeah, but I can't bring you home because I got to go to work. So I give him a ride. And it wasn't that far. Like he probably could have walked, and we get there and he's like, hey man, can I borrow $20? I'm like, God damn, man. They give you a ride. Now you want money. It's like, if you didn't have money, we could have ended this sooner. But so I give him money, whatever. He goes in there. First he comes out. I did not know. I might have known around this time, but I did not know for the longest time up until about this point what Mad Dog 2020 was.
Malt liquor?
And he comes out with it. And I was like, what in the fuck?
You drinking a 40?
So probably, I mean, that's what, borderline one of the cheapest things you can get in a gas station that's going to get you drunk.
I don't even know if Mad Dog 2020 is still a thing.
He comes
now
out.
You're dating yourself.
I don't think so.
It's like Zima. I used to drink Zima. Zima's not a thing anymore, bro.
This would have been 2015 is when I got out of the army.
Oh, so
2015, 2016, he comes out
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
And then and some cigarettes or whatever. So there's that. And then I go to work and I come back. And one day, I don't remember if this was the same day or not, but one day I just come in the house. And number one, he was in my room, which wasn't super weird because it was almost like attached to the room that I used was like the back door where the patio was.
Right.
Plus there was a bathroom in there. It wasn't like the mass. It almost looked like it was supposed to be more like a living room, but instead they had me back there. And I was like, all right, I live here, whatever. So it was like, all right, maybe he had to use the bathroom and he didn't want to use one of the other ones. Whatever. So he's coming out of the back room and it's like, that's weird. And then he's kind of looking through me and I find one of my bottles in his hand. And then there was also like this pink shit in the sink. And come to find out from his brother that not only was he an addict, there was like anything that he could just consume. That it was crazy, man. And then one day he finally, while he was around with us, he finally got this job. And it was like, all right, you got a job. Maybe he's going to cut back on this stuff, whatever. And he was supposed to go there. And then he just shows up at our workplace. We all worked at the same restaurant. And he just shows up and he was drunk, like beyond any drunk you or I could ever think of. He couldn't stand. And I think what was crazy to me is like his dad showed up and he was yelling at him and stuff. And I was like, oh man, like that's kind of mean. But then I realized like this dude puts up with this on a regular basis. And he was like, stand up, get in the van. Just screaming at him.
I was never like that.
So I think that's the difference between
like I was a straight recreational. Like if it was in front of me, I was doing it.
Yeah.
And it was in front of me a lot. But if it wasn't in front of me, it wasn't like I'm jonesing for it,
Yeah.
But like there was always something around for me to do. So I could do it. Like I hippie tripped once.
Days of the week.
I did have for pills, yeah. But I also rolled a quarter blunt every night before bed. And the first thing I would do when I got up in the morning, whenever that was I took that blunt out of the ashtray and I lit it up before even getting out of bed. I lit it up and started smoking that shit.
Jesus.
A quarter of weed to the fucking face in the morning. Like that's how that was my coffee.
Wake and motherfucking bake.
That was my coffee. Like I don't smoke weed anymore. Like because now I'm like, I went and I sobered up real fast for the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
A lot of shit happened that I'm not prepared to talk about on the podcast. And it wasn't like I got in jail or anything like that, but it happened to friends of mine who I was very close to. And I was like, that was a wake up call. They didn't die or anything. It wasn't anything like that. It wasn't.
That was good.
But it was a wake up call where I was like, I need to fucking sober up and change my life because it's going nowhere. So I took 90 days and I didn't smoke weed and I drank a bunch of cranberry juice. And then I walked the fuck into a Marine Corps recruiter station and I was like, fucking sign my ass up for the infantry, bro.
Sign my
I took the ASVAB after tripping acid for the last time. Like I was coming off an acid trip when I took the ASVAB. That's what was crazy. And people were like, "Oh, how'd you score so high in the ASVAB?" I was like, six hits of acid the day before would really help. I also hippie tripped before. I don't know what they call it now, but that's what we used to call it back in the day. In one day, I took 3 hits of acid, a quarter of mushrooms, and a hit of mescaline in a 24-hour period. I was fucked up for a solid 30 hours. And the best combination of drugs, if you're going to do acid, if you're ever going to do acid, I would highly suggest taking Xanax with it. Just saying. Did you send him another invite?
Yeah, he said it's not working or something. He's he was a mechanic in our battalion down there, so I don't not too sure.
Tell me why ain't nothing but a... Sorry, that's going to be in my head now for the rest of the day. that scene.
It said send it to my email.
Well, you better send that shit to his email.
Working on it. If you ever text or message someone your email address, do it separately. Because if you send an entire sentence with your email address, my email address is, if I go to copy it, like from Facebook Messenger or something, I have to copy it, paste it in somewhere else, pull your email address out, copy or cut that, and then if you just send your email address by itself, it's easier to copy.
Do you want to pause this so we can get them all set up? We can probably make this 2 episodes at this point.
I mean, if this doesn't work,
well, let me rephrase. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette.
Okay.
So let's pause this. I've been drinking. You gotta figure out what me and the wife are doing for dinner tonight.
This is the Veteran Talk Show. If you or someone you love is suffering as a victim of sexual harassment, sexual assault, needs help with addiction and recovery, or mental health and well-being, then please go to veterantalkshow.com/resources. This show is hosted, produced, and edited by Ryan Smelt. Our co-host is Joe Ballack, and a guest starring veterans.